Hey everyone, I figured it was time I do another silver video. The last time I did a silver video, silver was down to a price of around 23 and change. And what did everybody say? They all said buy, buy, buy. Just like when silver was $28 an ounce, everybody said buy, 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 buy. And it's funny because when you ask a silver dealer when you should sell your silver, the comment you get from silver dealers is, well, I don't have a crystal ball. I can't tell you when you should sell. Well, shouldn't that crystal ball logic also apply to when you buy silver? If you don't have a crystal ball and you can't foresee what the price is going to do in the future, so based on that, you cannot tell me when to sell, how can you tell me when to buy? If you don't have a crystal ball, you can't tell me when to sell. So if you don't have a crystal ball, you can't tell me when to buy. So every time you see a video where it says, now's the time to buy silver, they are lying to you because, to quote them, they don't have a crystal ball. Now, there are people that believe silver is going to be $100 an ounce. And to them, in my previous silver video, I said, here's 20 ounces of silver. If you think silver is going to be $100 an ounce, this is $2,000 worth of silver. If you think it's going to be $50 an ounce, this is $1,000 worth of silver. The current spot price is no longer $23.50 an ounce. The current spot price is $22.56. So since my last video, silver has dropped yet again. And I still have these 20 ounces on eBay. I priced them, including shipping, for $625. $625 for 20 ounces. That works out to roughly $30 an ounce and $25 for shipping and insurance. That's what that amounts to. Now, there are silver dealers selling silver for $30 an ounce when you start including their premiums. Even if they're selling for $28 an ounce, that means I'm within $2 of anybody's asking price on silver. And if that's the case, can you believe not a single one of these silver dealers would spend the extra $2 just to shut me up? Because they all say the same thing. Well, why should I buy it from you when I can get it for $2 cheaper? Well, because if you buy it from me, that does shut me up. I can no longer talk about silver because somebody bought my silver at an outrageous price. They spent money because they believe silver truly will be $50 or $100 an ounce, whereas I know silver will be $18 long before it ever sees 50. So it's me putting my money where my mouth is. Let's see if any silver dealer will put their money where their mouth is and pick up my silver. It's still on eBay. You guys know how to find my eBay stuff. Simply search Stu Pluback. I've got those 20 ounces. I do have other pieces of silver that I still hold on to. I've got a 1 ounce silver bar. I got a 5 ounce silver bar. I have one of these, the biggest fraud out there, the ASE, American Silver Eagle. If you want an ounce of silver, why are you paying a $14 an ounce premium for this ounce of silver when you can get this one, which is just as much silver, for $14 an ounce less? I have no idea, especially when people will flat out tell you, dealers will tell you, oh, we're paying $4 over spot for ASEs. Well, you're going to buy them for $14 over spot, so you only lose $10 an ounce when you buy and sell ASEs. So, yeah. Then you've got, I bought this because I thought it was cool. This is, where is it? This is a Queen's Beast. And I got it because it's got a greyhound on it, and I like greyhounds. So that's why I have that. I'm not planning on selling this. I think this is cool. But yeah, as far as silver goes, I have very little silver. I sold it when the price was high, when all the silver dealers were telling you to buy. So what is this particular video going to be about? Well, what I did was I found a neat little chart. I'm sure you guys are familiar with this chart. This is what silver has done in the past. This is the entire chart from 1975 to present. Now, the thing with that is it has 2 points. One right here, which is substantially higher than what it was before and what it was after. And then there's another point right here, which is substantially well above what it was here and here. Then there's this semi-little peak right here, which we can just say is COVID. And you can see that even through this particular one, you can see it is starting to angle down. So with that declining price right there, that's where we're sitting now with the price of silver. There are reasons for each of these spikes. More importantly, there are reasons for these long periods of time from 1980 to 2009 of virtually nothing happening with silver. You can literally go from 1980 to, 2004, and it hasn't moved at all. Over a period of 24 years. So I just get a kick out of when people tell me how great of an investment silver is. So let's take a peek at how great of an investment that is. Let's forget about this being silver. Let's say this is just a company and you wanted to buy a stock in this particular company. Well, you'd look back and you'd see that this company reached a peak value, its all-time high, in 1980. Since then, it came close to it once, but for the most part has been 90% lower than that all-time high. And even now, spiked up to almost 50% of its all-time high and now is reaching back. If I showed you this as any business and I wanted you to invest in it, you'd laugh at me. You'd tell me that, no, this is probably worthless. Low, extremely high peak, probably falsely inflated. Think, I don't know, GameStop. Then it gets back down to reality here. And then you get another giant spike. What's that cause? Well, probably false information and everything else. Because look, it goes almost straight up in 1 year and then almost straight back down and then catches a break. But anyway, like I said, if this was a company and I was trying to get you to buy stock in it, you'd laugh me out of town. People tell me that they buy silver because they say that the US dollar is worth less and less every year. And that is true. The dollar does depreciate every year. People say that they buy silver as a hedge against that. Well, let's see how good of a hedge that is. Let's just take this down. I'll set this over here because it's going to mess with it. I have this app called Dollar Worth, and what it is it's an index that tells you how inflation affects prices. And what you can do is you can set this to any date you like. We'll set this to 1990 just as an example. Then you can put in an amount of money. Let's see here. We'll put in, let's clear this out. This is so hard to do while I'm looking through a viewfinder. We'll put in $100. $100 in 1990, and then you just hit calculate. And it says in 1990, if I bought goods and services for $100, then, oops, we better put this to the right one. There we go. Now I'll hit calculate. Okay. If in 1990 I bought goods or services for $100, then in 2021, the same goods or services would cost $207.71. So that shows you that from 1990 to 201, you're talking about $100 to $207. That's how this works. But we're going to look at it for very specific things. According to that chart, 1980 is when silver hit its all-time high. So I'm going to go to 1980 there. And that price was it was 49 and change. I'm going to put 50 because I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. So we're going to go better clear all that out there. $50. So if you would have spent $50 on silver, on 1 ounce of silver in 1980, that would be the equivalent of $164 today. I think we've discovered where people get the idea that silver is going to be $100 an ounce, because at its all-time high, if adjusted for inflation, silver should be $164 an ounce. The problem is silver should have never been $50 an ounce back then in the first place. But if you stocked up on silver at $50 an ounce in 1980, not only is it not $164, it is half of that. So you had lost half of your money. I just have to retype in this because the screen went away. There we go. You would have had $50 per ounce. You today can sell that for $22 an ounce for a net loss of $28 per ounce. And we're not even talking about premiums. I'm not even going to get into premiums. I'm just talking specifically spending $50. It should be worth $164 now, and it's not. It's worth $22.56. Now, you may think I'm being a little harsh. Well, once again, here's the chart. And let's go right before that. Well, here, 1975. Just a few years before, you can see 75 to 79 there. It didn't change at all. 75 to 79, silver was $5 an ounce. So let's simply remove that 10. So it now says $5 in 1975, and we'll hit calculate. $5 in 1975. In other words, if you would have paid $5 for an ounce of silver in 1975, that's the equivalent of $25.21. What's the current price of silver? $22.56. So even if you go back to 1975 when silver was $5 an ounce, you're still losing money. And once again, not talking about premiums. Well, I'm not discussing premiums at all. I'm talking about what $5 was worth back then compared to now. And I'm showing you exactly what the silver price was back then compared to what it is now. So for all of you telling me that, oh, the dollar isn't worth anything, I'm buying silver. No, your worthless dollar that we rate silver on has been outperforming silver by a lot. Now, this particular one goes all the way back to 1913. That's as old as I can make it. Now, in 1913, you could get an ounce of silver for $1. Morgans were an ounce of silver. They were $1. So let's see what happens here. If I was to put $1 in 1913, what does that equal in today's cash? Calculate. Oh, $27.47. Now, that's $1 from 1913. I'm not talking about the numismatic value, because the numismatic value of a well-circulated Morgan silver dollar is still somewhere in the neighborhood of $30. The value of $1 in general back then is $27.47 compared to today's price of silver of $22.56. So yeah, the whole notion that silver is a way of preserving value is not true at all. What it is a way of doing is it's preserving wealth for silver dealers who constantly make money on you buying silver because you have to pay premiums on that. And then if you ever want to sell your silver, well, you're never going to get your money back, because not only do you have to recoup the price of the silver, but you have to recoup the price of the premium. And since they never tell you when it's a good time to sell, only that it's always a good time to buy, you're left to your own devices as far as figuring out when to get your silver and when to sell it. The last question I had asked was, when should you sell silver? And the answer I got was, you should sell your silver when you're done collecting. That was the answer. That was the big investment news that I was given by a particular silver dealer. That, along with, I don't have a crystal ball. Well, like I said, you don't have a crystal ball, don't tell me when to buy it, because your crystal ball also doesn't tell me when to sell it. I can't give credibility to either one. All I can do is show you the facts. Facts are $1 in 1913, in other words, 1 ounce of silver in 1913, is worth $27 today, and your 1 ounce of silver that was $1 in 1913 is worth $22.56. So, tell me again why this is such a good deal. Tell me again why it's so important to be stacking silver. People say, well, if it does get to $100 an ounce, okay, fine. What if it gets to $1,000 an ounce? What if it gets to $10,000 an ounce? What if it gets to $1 million an ounce? Well, that means that there is no more United States of America. That's what that means. For those of you who don't know, our country is in debt, and China has bought up a lot of that debt. So do you think that silver is going to run up to $10,000 an ounce and we can just look at China and go, hey, here's 5 tons of silver, we're going to call it even? No, that's not what's going to happen at all. China is then going to say, no, we're not going to do that. We want the equivalent of what we spent, and we'll just take that back in land. And so it ends with the United States. So yeah, if you really believe that the dollar is going to crumble and go away, the other thing that crumbles and goes away is the United States, because the people who we owe money to aren't going to want our money to pay that debt. They're going to want land. Anyway, that's what I've got for you guys this week. Once again, every time I talk silver, or anytime I see somebody putting out something, on how, oh, this is a great time to buy silver. No, it's not. No. Silver has cost you, hopefully not thousands of dollars, but hopefully you'll find that if you would invest your money in literally anything other than silver, you'd be doing better. So that's what I got for you guys this week. I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of hate, but you know that every time I do one of these videos, I answer every single statement, and I tend to come out pretty good. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.